Welcome to another episode of Roll Up a Pull Up. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured. Alright, now look, so for this one, I'm gonna just let y'all go ahead and hear this. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk my shit at that. You feel me? How about that? How about that? Tap in. Tap the fuck in.
A Baltimore City police officer accused of raping a teenage girl will remain behind bars. This afternoon, a judge denying Curlin Edwards' request for bail as he faces several felony charges. Fox 45's Rebecca Pride was in the courtroom, joins us live with the very latest on this case. Rebecca.
Mary, today we learned that Edwards has been with the police department for about 2.5 years and he has no prior criminal history. However, he has now been suspended without pay and is facing up to a life behind bars.
A Baltimore police officer entrusted with protecting and serving city streets, now finding himself on the other side of the law. 34-year-old Curlin Edwards charged with raping, assaulting, and unlawfully detaining a 16-year-old girl. According to charging documents, Edwards admitting to dating the teen and engaging in sexual relations. The girl telling police a confrontation ensued after Edwards accused her of cheating. She says he put her in a chokehold and strangled her until she lost consciousness. He turned his TV up to mask her screams, then locked the doors and didn't allow her to leave. Charging documents state. Detectives also say Edwards admitted to grabbing his unloaded duty weapon and giving it to the alleged victim as a test. He says he told her to shoot him because he deserved it. During his bail review, a public defender requesting his release, arguing Edwards' profession makes him a target behind bars. But the judge...
Hold on. Public defense? He's a police officer?
disagreeing, denying bond due to the seriousness of the charges.
It does not matter to me that this person is a police officer. We're talking about a 16-year-old girl.
At an unrelated press conference, Mayor Brandon Scott commending the justice system for treating Edwards like they would anyone accused of a crime.
Anytime anybody is accused with sexual assault and rape of anyone, especially mine, it's hideous. But when it's someone whose job is to do that exactly, to remove them people from the streets himself, it makes it even worse. And this is just unacceptable. And we should have the most stringent penalty possible and placed upon this person if we're able to get a conviction.
In about 4 weeks, Edwards will be due back in court for a preliminary hearing. Reporting live in Baltimore City, Rebecca Pryor.
All right, now look, y'all heard that one, right? I got
Reporting live
one
in
more.
Baltimore.
I got one more for y'all. Hold on. I want y'all to hear this one too. Then I'm gonna give y'all my shit. You know what I'm saying? How about that? How about that? Hold on. That's a whole ass commercial. How about that?
David, this case is more than 3 years in the making. The victim pressed charges with Lake Oswego police back in the fall of 2021. That was during Ben McLemore's one season with the Trailblazers. Investigators say this case took so long because McLemore moved out of state and began playing overseas, delaying their investigation. McLemore appeared in Clackamas County Court via video this afternoon. The 31-year-old is charged with first-degree rape, first-degree unlawful sexual penetration, and 2 counts of second-degree sexual abuse. The U.S. Marshals arrested McLemore yesterday morning at PDX on an outstanding felony warrant. He currently plays basketball for a team in Spain. Court documents suggest the victim in this case was incapable of consent because of mental and physical limitations. Police tell us the charges stem from a reported sexual assault that happened in Lake Oswego October 3rd, 2021. That same day, Lake Oswego police say they collected evidence and connected the survivor with a victim's advocate. In February of this year, a Clackamas County grand jury heard evidence in the case and issued an indictment against McLemore. Today, the judge ordered him to have no contact with the victim and set bail at $500,000. She also signed an order authorizing McLemore to travel. Again, he's currently playing basketball for a team in Spain. Now, noting the duration of the case, Lake Oswego police said, quote, "We applaud the courage of the survivor to come forward and put herself through this arduous process, and we will continue to support her in any way we can. Macklemore is due back in court July 1st.
Alright, now look, y'all done heard all that. Let me get my drink that's poured. Y'all know what time it is. Alright, let's go. You know what I'm saying? How about that? Now look, right off the rip, right? Why you do that, Mr. Roller? What you play 2 videos for? Of 2 different people. Yeah, they caught them bad charges. Why you doing the video on? What's going on here, Mr. Roller? Alright, so let me put it like this, right? This video, well, these 2 videos I just showed you, they coming from 2 prominent people, right? What you mean prominent? Prominent meaning they are like in the public eye. Pretty much all the random regular people you see on the daily, they know who these people are. The people you see on the daily, they might not know too many people you know, but they know that these 2 people right here, I just showed you, they know something about them. They might not know they everyday daily or anything like that, but they done heard of these people, they done seen them before, or they might see them in the future because of their career. You know what I'm saying? How about that? Now look, you got a basketball player and you got a police officer. You know what I'm saying? Some of the 2 biggest professions out there that's to the public's eye. What you mean by that, Mr. Roller? Let's put it like this. Let's talk about the cop first off. You know what I'm saying? Just say you and everybody you fuck with, you know what? Better yet, how about this? Somebody invite you to a party, right? Just say you bring a homie or 2, a homegirl or 2, whoever you bring with, right? Okay, cool. You get there, everybody in there drinking, partying, having a good time, blah, 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 right? And then guess what happened? That cop walk in, police badge, big ass vest on, gun on him, walkie-talkie going off, blah, 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 blah. You know what happened? He becomes the public's eye. It could be 20 killers at that party, well-known killers. You know what I'm saying? But everybody passed them up. Everybody be like, yeah, them niggas, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? But let that cop walk in there. Everybody, they go 12. Watch him. You know what I'm saying? All them killers that came in there, they cool. We know what they on. But that cop, we don't know what he on. You know what I'm saying? How about that? How about that? Why is it the cop here in the first place? Because he on something. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by public's eye. You know? Now we got that cop out the way. Let's talk about this basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Ben Macklemore. Bold business. You know what I'm saying? Another one, public eye. You know what I'm saying? Now you got this cop and you got this basketball player. Public eye. Both of them convicted on the same type of crimes. Now the cop, his crime is on a younger one. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But both of them got the same crime. This is what I said before about we can catch the same crimes and we can do different times. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the depth of your crime. Now, what's my point of all of this? Mr. Roll Up, you did all of this, woo, wah, blah, blah, blah. What's your point? All right? check this out. How about that? My point of all of this is nobody is above the law. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's real drink. This ain't no lie. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is above the law. Not even the law. Not even a basketball player that make $100 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Now I did this because I didn't told y'all before. Nobody is above the law. Nobody. These celebrities, cops, senators, janitors, blah, 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 blah. Nobody is above the law, bro. Whoever sat there and wrote the laws out and they was able to notarize it or, get it authorized, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it, whoever called that shot was a powerful motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because even still to this day, whoever wrote them laws, they words still stand to this day. And at the end of the day, their rule is that nobody is above the law. A cop, a basketball player, a football player, a golf player, a real player, a New York City player, you know what I'm saying? A lottery ticket winner, a farm owner, an alien follower, you know what I'm saying? NASA, man on the moon. Them 10 examples I named right there. Fast. Just off the head. Because y'all know I don't script shit. You know what I'm saying? Right off the head. They go 10 motherfuckers right there. Right off the head. You're not above the law. That's the whole point of this video. Well, 2 parts. You know what I'm saying? Ben McLemore and the damn cop. You know what I'm saying? 2 people that a lot of people in the public eye look at. Y'all are citizens just like everybody else. You might have a higher position at the moment to make some money and, you might be authorized to call a shot, but guess what? That one situation, that essay assault type thing, essay, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about the Mexican. I'm talking about the real essay. You know what I'm saying? The United States version of the essay. You know what I'm saying? Sexual assault. How about that? How about that? You know what I'm saying? These 2 prominent people been convicted of sexual assaults. You know what I'm saying? Now, that being said, right? What's the end all to do of it? Both of those 2 people, the police officer and the basketball player, both of them niggas cook. You know what I'm saying? Nah, let me say this real quick. The story about the basketball player, his shit happened a year ago. And since then, he been sentenced to 8 years in prison for what he did. A lot of y'all might say, 8 years, that ain't no time. What is that? You know what I'm saying? The fuck is 8 years? That ain't nothing. I done told y'all before about how the parole board operate. You know what I'm saying? A judge can sentence you to 10 years. That don't mean that the parole board gonna let you out in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So, being McLemore, he gotta worry about that. He gotta worry about the parole board. First thing first, he gotta do that whole 8 years. He gotta knock that off first. I told y'all about how level 4 works. If you got anything like 7 or more years, you automatically go to level 4. Automatically. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to talk about. That's right off the rip. After so much time, you go straight to level 4. And it's anywhere from like 7 to 8 years. You know what I'm saying? It places you in a high security risk because you got a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? So being Macklemore, he threw. He going straight to the big house, right up top, level 4. I done told y'all about level 4. You got the Damons from Friday at the Next, and then you got the Green Mile. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on up in there. And you locked in the cell with that type of person for 23 hours a day. So just think about this guy just went from hooping on the court, making millions of dollars, being seen by millions of people, being ran up on by all type of paparazzis, fans, thoughts that just want to give him some just because of who he is, the money that he encountered, the life that he did live. Guess what? It's over. You know what I'm saying? How about that? How about that? Ben Macklemore, his life is over. He might have bonded out since then. I don't know. I don't go into all of that. Like I told you, I just see what I see and I put it together from what I know about being in the system. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. How about that? How about that? Now, like I said about Ben Macklemore, he just came off the streets from being rich off of hooping. Now he about to do 8 years in prison for messing with an underage or tampering with a woman, whatever the case, however it happened. He just lost his career and he lost a few years of his life that he would never get back. You know what I'm saying? You're not above the law, bro. That's just what's going on. It don't matter if the Portland Trailblazers said, hey, Ben Macklemore, we gonna pay you $500 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? The system don't give a fuck about that. Why the system don't give a fuck? Because they the ones that print the money. Yeah, that Federal Reserve note that's on your dollar bill, $50 bill, $20 bill, $10 bill, $5 bill, $50 bill, $100, whatever bill you got in your pocket, it says Federal Reserve note, meaning it's not your money. You are the temporary holder of that money. You unlocked a level that obtains you that kind of money. That's all that means. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the sports perspective. You know what I'm saying? He abused it. But I'm gonna get back to that. Let's move a little forward, a little further and forward into the cop, right? I don't know the cop name. Y'all know I don't fuck with 12. You know what I'm saying? I just seen the shit come up, right? So with the cop, 12, you know what I'm saying? Not a cop. He used his position of power against his own self. He felt like since he was a cop, it ain't no touching him, it ain't no doing nothing to him. He is right here, eye to eye with the law. Yeah, I dropped the cup. Fuck you talking about? Shit real. You know what I'm saying? Now look, he felt like he could do what he want because he's a cop. But what y'all gotta understand is that the system authorized cops to kill you. They authorize cops to arrest you. They authorize cops to subdue you. That is the cop's job. You know what I'm saying? But when the cop get to touching kids and things like that, guess what? That cop went above the law. And they have restrictions for those same police officers. The same ones that took that oath and raised their right hand and said, I will never do this, I will never do that, I will do this and not do that. You're not above the law as well. You know what I'm saying? You are another Ben McLemore. You know what I'm saying? Even though Ben McLemore for sure made way more money than that cop. But guess what? That cop got authorization that basketball players do not have. What's the authorization, Mr. Rolla? The authorization is that that cop has the right to kill you. That cop has the right to arrest you. That cop has the right to question you. That cop has the right to do whatever he wants. Why? Because the system authorized him to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I said about both of these guys, same scenario. You could be throwing a party, Ben McLemore could show up, he in the public's eye. Even if he don't mention he a all-time NBA star, none of that. It's gonna be at least 10 to 15 people at that party that's gonna recognize him. Hey, that's bro. And then they gonna tell everybody else, and guess what? Everybody gonna get to run up on him. Oh, you such and such, woo, woo. Public eye. You know what I'm saying? He no different than a cop at this time. Now, I'm not saying that he is a cop, but his status is no different from a cop's status. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, Ben McLemore took his position of power a little further. And he committed the same crime that this cop committed. This cop committed this crime a year ago. I know Ben McLemore done seen this story at least 2 or 3 times. You know what I'm saying? You got to think this guy is a part of a small percentage of people that don't accumulate the kind of money he accumulates. So with that being said, he don't just be around any and everybody. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, his off time, his practicing, things like that. This is summer. You know what I'm saying? This is his season to practice, fall back, figure out some shit, ride around in the coupe. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. This is his time to unwind. And he out here committing crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that shit was like a year ago. But guess what? The system don't care, man. They don't care. For real. They don't care who you is, how long ago it happened. None of it. Let me tell y'all something else on some real nigga shit. For those of y'all that watch the law and things like that, y'all might study certain rules and things like that, and you think you know something. I'm gonna keep it real one more time. Just like I told y'all about the whole Diddy case. He could serve anywhere from 0 to get out right now, all the way up to 20 years. That's the position he in. And this is P. Diddy, a man that got billions of dollars. And they don't care. He's still looking at anywhere from getting out tomorrow to 20 years in prison. It's all on the judge, how the judge score everything, how the judge feel. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? You better off catching any crime in the world than SA charge. You know what I'm saying? anything, especially anything involving a minor. You know, this is you on out of all the type of women, men, whatever, aliens, whatever that you could have met in your life. You decided to take advantage of the kid. You know what I'm saying? They got a place for you. No matter who you is, if you a cop, you a basketball player, you a football player, you a golf player, um, you a fan duel player, whoever you is, trust me, they have a spot for you. You know what I'm saying? It's no way around it. There's no way around it. No matter who you think you is or what you think you got going on. Now look, let me say this, right? The harder you troll the system, the easier it is for them to get you. What you mean by trolling the system? Don't nobody want to troll the system. Like, that sound dumb, Mr. Roll Up. Well, you right, it is dumb. Let me give you the full synopsis on that. Yeah, I'm smart. I ain't no goofy. I know how to use bigger words, biggest words, all of it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me give you the synopsis on that. You know what I'm saying? Synopsis gonna be the short form of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Nah. With that being made, right? The synopsis on the cop. Let's start on the cop. Since we didn't already talk about Ben McLemore and all that, let's talk about this cop now. You know what I'm saying? The synopsis on him, right? He gonna get cooked. Why is that? Because nobody is above the law. Even the same people that signed up for the law, that took the right hand oath to the law, them same people know, and they've been told, if you cross this line, your ass gonna be an inmate, just like everybody else that you was meant here to subdue. Right? So that cop that touched that kid, he knew for sure, for sure. Everybody in the world know about this. You don't touch kids. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, you a weird ass. But that's a whole other section. You know what I'm saying? But us as adults, we all know you don't touch kids. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, guess what? It's a heavy punishment behind it because they vulnerable, they young, they soft, they don't know what's going on. And even if you do grab them, they not gonna know how to react to it. You know what I'm saying? They come out to play, laugh, joke, shit like that. They not defensive type people. They are kids. They learning. You know what I'm saying? So at the point that they at, being young like that, all they know is to play, laugh, joke, listen, some things like that. They don't know how to interpret what it is that you already know as an adult. You know what I'm saying? This is why you teach your kids so that they learn this type of stuff over time. You know what I'm saying? It take time. You don't wake up one day and say, you know what? I'm about to hit you with 10 books right now because I want you to learn what I know. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? When you had kids, it's a gradual stepping stone. You know what I'm saying? Even though they all on the internet, they looking at what's going on, but you as a parent, you have to do your part. You can't let the internet take over your part as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do, guess what? Now your kids gonna resent you. They don't fuck with you. All they know was that they grew up off of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And you looked at as a nothing as parent because you didn't hold down court when you had the ball. You wanted to party, you wanted to hang out, you wanted to be a bob, you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do. Now that you older and you see that don't nobody want you or none of that, now your kids coming at you. Why you didn't do that when you had the chance? You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation. I'm just throwing that in the can that nobody is above the law. No matter how gangster you is, no matter what type of work you put in, none of that. The law will come get you as soon as they get the tip on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Whether if it was your first crime or your 50th crime. As soon as the hood get a tip on you, they come and get you. It's not even worth it. And then you went through all this time trying to prove who you is to a bunch of people that don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just say if it was 100 people that you was trying to prove who you was, guess what? That same 100 people about to hold your ass. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it, man. It's not worth it. So my best bet to everybody is that when the law set down the law, follow the law. And this is coming from an ex-gangbanger that was a gangster disciple. Me. As gangster disciples, we didn't follow rules. We broke rules. You know what I'm saying? We broke that. We didn't do that. You know? That's why the system has such a big problem with us gangbangers, because we don't follow rules. We the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? If the rule is walk on the sidewalk, we walk in the street. You know what I'm saying? Just to break their rules, just to make them mad. Like, we could have walked on the sidewalk, but since you said that, we not doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's what gangbanging is. They don't follow no rules. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with basketball playing, you feel me, and being a cop. They not the same professions at all, but they all serve a purpose. All three of those careers serve a different purpose. You know what I'm saying? Now, it all comes down to what type of person is in that position. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you ask me, a nigga that was in Ben McLemore position, that was a street nigga, a thug, a nigga that was on the blocks. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was. Maybe he was a house ass spoon fed nigga. Maybe. Whatever it was, he went to a party one day and he seen a girl he liked. And evidently he felt like he could have her because of who he is. And that woman wasn't going. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly how it went. But from hearing from what I done heard about this, that's the type of conclusion I'm drawing off this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And if that's it, that's the saddest part of this whole demonstration. You know what I'm saying? But you never know, man. You never know. So, all in all, my point about all of this is that nobody is above the law. No matter how thick your crew is, no matter how much you think the police scared of y'all, no matter how much you think you can commit the same crime over and over and they're going to keep letting you out, let me tell you, all it takes is that one motherfucking time and your ass cooked just like everybody else, man. You won't believe how many cops I was in prison with. You know what I'm saying? You won't believe how many SA assaulted type people I was in prison with. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it all, man. And this is why I be trying to bring this to y'all. Like, prison is not what these niggas be making it seem like on the internet. You know what I'm saying? These niggas be lying. I can tell you that for sure they lying. Because I've been behind the walls plenty of times. And at one point in time, I spent 4 years behind the walls. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell you that whole escape, phone shit, that shit fake. You know what I'm saying? We had weed on my yard one time, and we only had it for 2 days. Luckily, me and the little homies jumped right on it, because we already knew how it was coming. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, we knew about the work before it even hit the yard. You know what I'm saying? So don't think them niggas in prison don't got no connections. They just sitting around working out, laughing, joking, and then they die. you would be surprised. Some of them guys in there, they got stronger connections than you, and they ain't in jail, prison, whatever. They locked the fuck up, and they got more resources than you. Don't believe me? Go ahead and look back at the whole New Orleans escape situation. They currently have about like 15 people locked up besides that shit, besides the 10 inmates that escaped. This is an extra 15 people that they picked up that was a part of it, that was connected to that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is above the law, baby. No matter where you run to or who you think you with. If they want you, they gonna come get you. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that shit go. Now that I got Ben McLemore situation out the way, let me go ahead and speak on this cop. You know what I'm saying? 12. You know what I'm saying? Bold business. You supposed to be out here to protect and serve the community. Whole time you messing with the community. That's against your will. That's against your oath. That is against what you took a part of in this whole situation. That's against the promises you made to the city. You know what I'm saying? So you know what they gotta do for you? They gotta punish you. Now, with the whole Ben McLemore situation, right? I know y'all heard at the beginning that it was said that he had a $500,000 bond, $500,000 bond, right? $500,000, same shit, right? Now look, I'm gonna put it like this. Again, I don't follow stories, so I'm gonna assume that he paid that $500,000 to get out of jail. You gotta think he an NBA player. He make millions of dollars every year. So 500,000 wasn't enough for him to cough up, especially for his freedom when he been incarcerated the past 8-9 months. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, to come off your assets is nothing. But like I said before, don't no man want to come off of everything he own. But if he know that's his last straw and that's what's gonna get him out, fuck it, come off of it. I'll go work at Burger King and go scrub the toilet with my toothbrush. You know what I'm saying? If that's what caused me to be free at this very moment, come on with it. You know what I'm saying? So, long story short on him, he got out. And I'm gonna say this. When he got out, I ran into him like a couple days before he got killed, right? Now I've been knowing this guy since like middle school. You know what I'm saying? He always been ruthless, wild as hell, ready to cut your head off, blah blah blah. He always been like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, recently, a couple of years ago, he went to prison. This should have been his slow down time for him. But he one of them ones that's become a bigger hood nigga. You know what I'm saying? He became a bigger hood nigga. Instead of letting go and moving on, he became a bigger hood nigga. So now he want to be the OG. Now he want to tell all the youngins how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of goofy shit. But anyway, that's what it was, right? So now we got a cop that's supposed to be here to subdue the criminals, the guys in the hood, the ones that ain't doing right. This is the cop's job to take care of it, right? And what this cop do? He turned around and did a street nigga move. He messed with a young kid. And he got caught up. You know what I'm saying? Now, the cop situation, he is his own going. The Ben McLemore, it should have been over with. I just so happened to see it at the same time with this cop shit. You know what I'm saying? Real nigga. So I put them both together so y'all can understand nobody is above the law. No matter what your statute is, nobody is above the law. You know what I'm saying? So with these two goofies right here being said at the end of the day, Ben McLemore only got like 8 years, but still enough time. The cop, he ain't got sentenced yet. But when he do, they gonna book his ass too. He out of there. You know what I'm saying? And all this is just gonna be a clear-cut example that nobody is above the law. Nobody. No matter how tough you think you is, no matter how much money you got, no matter how much money you get, no matter how much money is about to be inherited to you because your grandparents were prominent members of the plant or blah blah blah, and they said they're gonna take care of the family for the rest of their life. But now look, all that shit cap. Just to say, even if you was promised some shit like that, it's a business move. You know what I'm saying? Like giving away free food is kind of far fetched, especially to a place that's um, what can you say, independently owned. That's not a part of a franchise like a McDonald's or Wendy's, Subway, nothing like that. They independently owned. They started their own business. They started from the top. They bought the suite. They pay the rent every month. They maintain everything, and they get their clients in and out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's a complete difference than somebody that just want to joyride and bullshit. You feel me? Well, with that being said, right, this cop, he thought he was above the law. He thought that he could do whatever he want because he authorized to check these same guys I just told you about. The guys that's out here running around the streets doing what they want, feeling how they want, whatever the case is, right? This cop was authorized to subdue these type of people, kill these type of people, arrest these type of people. That's what he was authorized to do. See, on the flip side, Ben McLemore, he wasn't authorized to do none of this. But guess where he was authorized at? With the money. He had millions of dollars. He can get any woman he want to do anything that he want at any given time. But what was in his mentality? Grab an underage kid. You know what I'm saying? On that R. Kelly tip. Now this shit got him booked. He lucky he only got 8 years. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I told y'all before, that 8 years is just up to the judge's gavel slam. At the end of the day, the parole board is the ones that make the final decision. You know? So don't think that Diddy will be out in 3-4 years. It don't work like that. That man might be gone for the next 20 years. We don't know yet. You'll find out at sentencing. Now, far as the cop, with him being authorized and everything like that, right? I still feel like he about to get some time. He might get 10 to 20 years. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, just like the official said, they don't play that messing around with children or, committing that kind of crime on anybody, period. Especially when you do that to kids. You holding them against their will, you grooming them, you telling them how to do this, how to do that, go over here with them, go over here with them. That's trafficking. You know what I'm saying? And they traffic the hell out of bro. And I just said this couple of videos ago that the whole trafficking situation, like them days over with. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it wasn't called trafficking. It was called traveling. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, that shit is called trafficking. And if you get caught up on that trafficking, it's over with. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what this cop and this basketball player did. They thought that they was above the law, and their asses got hit with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't above the law. Who the fuck you think you is? You about to do some time just like everybody else. What you thought you was gonna pay some money and get out of this shit? Like, nah. Anytime you touch a kid, it's over with for everybody. The system, the citizens, the tax-paying people, whatever you want to call them. Everybody that's not a part of what you own is against you. So it's gonna be 30 fingers pointed at you. And guess what the judge gonna do? After all 30 of them fingers pointing at you, yeah, he the one that did it. He figured this out. This was his plan. You know what the judge gonna do? Bow. Peace out. Get you out of here. and will never think twice about you ever again for no reason. That judge can send you away to prison for the rest of your life. I can guarantee you by the time he wake up tomorrow, he gonna have his sausage biscuit, his hash browns, you know what I'm saying? His cup of coffee. And he gonna take off. He go on about his business. Ain't gonna think shit about you. You know what I'm saying? So be careful about the moves you make out here because nobody is against no damn. I said nobody is against the law. I'm tweaking. Let me bag that up one more time. I was for sure against the law my whole life. I was really in them streets every single day. You know what I'm saying? But here I am. I'm 36. I'm a grown ass man. I don't be on that no more. You YNs, y'all get it. I don't be on that no more. You know what I'm saying? But don't ever try and spark a light on me. You know what I'm saying? I'ma light up the whole room instantly. I have a very short temper. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. 0 to 100 real quick. You know, so this ain't that. But with this cop and this basketball player, it's definitely that. Both of them boys, they about to be out of there. And they have sexual cases involving minors. You know what I'm saying? Young women. Prisons don't take that well. And I done told y'all about that a million times. You know what I'm saying? So keep your eyes open and watch, man. You got a new basketball player that was doing this thing. He coming in there now. You got a P. Diddy that been balling his whole life, whole millionaire. That's about to go in there now. How many of them you think they done seen over the years? This ain't the first time they seen a Lil Durk, a Suge Knight, a P. Diddy, a R. Kelly, a Bill Cosby. This ain't the first time they seen them type of people. Them type of people just got a name on them. But again, like I said, when you go to prison, you don't have a name. You have a number. You know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, man, at the end of the day, I don't wish nothing but the best on them guys. Like I said, I don't know them. I don't know what the fuck they got going on. I don't know what they're guilty of or what they innocent of. All I know is what I see on my feed convicting these people. And once you get convicted, it ain't no taking it back. It's none of that. Once you get convicted, you're convicted. Whether if it's through a plea deal or if it's through a trial date. Either or, you're gonna get found guilty. Unless 100% you can prove your innocence. Other than that, you're done. And a lot of these guys that's locked up, they know that they done. That's why they don't fight the system. They know they got caught. You know what I'm saying? They got caught. Now they got to serve their time, man. Let me say this before I end this, right? I do these prison videos about the times I was in prison and about the times that these celebrities is getting and they about to go to prison. I just keep it real because I've been there before. So I let y'all know what's gonna happen with these celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get in there, you don't have no celebrity status. Yeah, a couple of people gonna be like, yeah, you such and such, you such and such. But man, that shit gonna die down in the next 30 to 45 days. And within the next 6 months to a year, ain't nobody gonna remember you. No matter how much work you put in out here, no matter what you did. You go to prison, people forget about you. Especially when you go to prison on a serious ass case like that. Us from the hood, we don't play with kids. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as your op, a nigga you don't like, he a bitch, he a hoe, tell that nigga pull up, woo, woo, woo. You can do that all day long. You know what I'm saying? But the Old Testament that I came from, we didn't touch kids. You know, we didn't touch your girlfriend or your kids. Meaning, if we out op shopping and we catch one of the ops out with his girl or his kids or anything like that, I'll run right up on him. I'll be like, hey, you got lucky. I'll catch you later on. You know what it is. Or I give them the nod, anything. It's multiple ways to communicate with your ops and let them know, hey, I spotted you, I got you, but I'm gonna let that shit slide because of your situation. You got the kids with you got your girl with you, maybe you got both. We gonna let you slide this time, but just know we can get up on your ass. You know what I'm saying? And then I ain't even gonna lie. A lot of them times I done slid up on like 3 or 4 niggas my whole life. You know what I'm saying? It might not sound like a lot, but when you gang banging, that's a lot of people to be sliding on. You know what I'm saying? So I slid on like 3 or 4 niggas before. You know what I'm saying? I told them the same thing. I don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what the fuck it was. Like, I don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? Internet, real life, anything. Now I'm gonna say this about the internet. I let the internet be the internet. But if you go there, I would slide on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know the type of shit I've been through. I've been through some real weird shit. You know what I'm saying? And this situation right here, it was a weird situation. You know what I'm saying? Very weird. So what I'm thinking about both of these guys, you know, that's in prison right now, um, what they thinking, what they got going on. Of course, they regretting everything, but at the end of the day, that's the fate they chose. They thought that they was above the law, and they wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Nobody above the law. So now they got to suffer the consequences. So hopefully, all of y'all learn something from this. You know what I'm saying? What we supposed to learn, Mr. Roll Up? Y'all supposed to learn that ain't nobody above the law. Nobody. Nobody. Not a cop, not a basketball player, not a football player, not a judge, not a prosecutor, nobody. Everybody can go to jail. It's always a higher up court for everybody that you know for whatever crime that they commit. And for all of y'all that think that the jail's overcrowded, they don't have space, guess what they will do? They will make space. And that's my word on the 6th. You know what I'm saying? And I'm well retired. That's real shit. It's been another episode of Roll Up a Poet. Hold on, let me bag it up. Yeah, I was feeling myself. I damn near said another live stream. You know what I'm saying? But let me go ahead and end this the right way. One more time. It's been another episode of Roll Up a Poet. So get your blunts rolled and your drink poured.